This tutorial will give you a brief overview of how to use the census.gov website to access some information about the demographics of Utah. The link we've provided in the lesson brings you straight to this page, which, as you can see, gives you a nice contrast and comparison between the demographics of Utah and the demographics of the nation as a whole. So you can take a look at things like the population differences in people of different ages, which is a really fascinating one to take a look at. Also, the percentages of people of different races that are within the state versus the nation. This is the state on the left and the nation on the right. So those are some really interesting comparisons to take a look at. We encourage you to go through this entire page, it's not that long, to take a look at the differences between Utah and the rest of the nation. Now, if you come back up most of the way to the top, right above where it says Utah over here on the left, you'll notice above that a couple of drop-down menus that you can use. So one of them is to look at the Utah counties. So we can narrow this down a little bit and say, you know what, I want to look just at Utah County, which is where UVU is. So I'm going to take a look at Utah County. And now we can see the differences, or kind of an analysis of these demographics within Utah County versus Utah as a state. So that's also some interesting comparison and contrast as you take a look at those demographics. Finally, right back up where we were before, so now it says Utah County instead of Utah up here, we can come over and there's a Utah Cities drop-down. So that can get really fun if you want to go in and take a look at where your service learning city is, or if you want to take a look at the city where you live or the city you'd like to live in. You can do this drop-down menu. So I'll take a look at Orem since that's where UVU is and click Go. Now I get a nice comparison between the city of Orem and the state of Utah. So obviously it gives us an overview of the population, which is interesting, but our comparisons get really interesting as we start to come down here into the various races and social classes and all of that kind of stuff. So we encourage you to use this website to take a look and get better acquainted with the demographics of Utah, certain counties in Utah, certain cities in Utah, so that you can really get a picture of the students that will be in your classroom.